Hello everyone, welcome to another session of D and F block elements. In this session, we will be talking about some of the compounds which are made by transition elements. Begin. So, all these transition element they form compounds with oxygen. So their oxides are generally formed with by reaction of metals with oxygen at high temperature. Okay, and they all of them they form MO type of oxide. Okay, apart from scandium. So remember, scandium does not form MO type of oxide. Another important thing that you can note down is the highest oxidation number in the oxides coincides with the group number. You can see Sc to Mn, it goes from group number 3 to group number 7. Okay, so that is from oxygen 3 oxygen 7. Okay. Also note that as the oxidation number of the metal increases, the ionic character decreases. Make a note of it. And in case of Mn, Mn2O7 is covalent green oil. In these higher oxides, the acidic character is predominant. That means they are more acidic in nature. Now, talking about one of the important compound, that is potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7. It is actually used in the leather industry, and it is also used as an oxidant for the preparation of many azo compounds. Now, how to prepare it? So it can be like the preparation process. You can see this is the reaction. Okay, so this is actually it is prepared from sodium chromate. So you have your yellow solution of sodium chromate, which is this one, is filtered and acidified with sulfuric acid to give a solution which forms orange sodium dichromate. So chromate here is yellow and dichromate here is orange in color. Okay. Now still we are not at potassium dichromate, we are at sodium dichromate. Now we know that sodium dichromate is more soluble than potassium dichromate. So what we do, we just replace uh, sodium with potassium. So therefore what we do, we are actually treating, or we are preparing potassium dichromate by treating the solution of sodium dichromate with potassium chloride. So what you will get is NaCl, and sodium will be replaced by potassium, hence you will get your potassium dichromate. Next, you can see chromate ion. Chromate ion is actually yellow in color. Okay, you can see this is the structure. It is 2 minus CrO4 2 minus, whereas dichromate is this is the structure. Remember the structure, they are important. Again, this is tetrahedral but made up of two tetrahedrons. You can this is the chromium, okay, and oxygen, 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 oxygen. So this is one tetrahedral, and on the other side as well there is the tetrahedral structure. So this is your dichromate iron, okay, because there are two chromiums inside. So chromate ion is tetrahedral, whereas dichromate ion consists of two tetrahedral sharing one corner with CrOCr bond angle is 126 degrees. Note that both potassium and sodium dichromate are strong oxidizing agent. Okay, you can calculate the oxidation state or oxidation number of chromium here. You will see it is at +6. Okay, so from +6 it can only go down, so it is going to get reduced, and hence in the process it is going to oxidize someone. Okay, that's why it's a strong oxidizing agent. Also the oxidation state is quite high, that is +6. Now, the sodium salt has a greater solubility in water and is extensively used as an oxidizing agent in organic chemistry. If you remember, there are a lot of reactions where we used CrO3, or we have used K2Cr O7. Okay. Same way, we have another compound, that is potassium permanganate, KMnO4, potassium permanganate. Now, potassium permanganate is actually prepared by the fusion of MnO2 with an alkali metal hydroxide. You can see MnO2 fused with KOH, oxidized with air, or KNO3. What you will get is manganate ion. Note that manganate ion is actually green in color, whereas we have permanganate ion, which is MnO4 minus, that is purple in color. please make a note, the colors are very important. If MnO4 2 minus and this is MnO4 minus. So here this is -2 charge and this is actually a minus charge. Okay, so the manganate is getting converted into permanganate by electrolytic oxidation in an alkaline solution. Note that there is again a color change since you are going from green to purple. So when the color has changed, you know that the reaction has completed. Okay, yeah, also note that the green magnet is paramagnetic in nature. That means it has electrons which are unpaired, whereas permanganate is diamagnetic. It will be weakly repelled by the magnetic field. Next, you can see some of the reactions here. Okay, so since we know that both like MnO4 minus, if you calculate the oxidation state, you will get +7. Okay, so obviously it's a very good oxidizing agent. In the process, it will undergo reduction it will undergo reduction. So if you see from +7 oxidation state, it is going to +2. In all the reactions of acidic medium, it will go in +2 oxidation state. So you can see, and in the process it will also oxidize someone, like for example I minus, that is iodine, is at -1 oxidation state going to 0. -1 to 0 is actually increase in oxidation number, hence it is oxidation. Same way, Fe2 plus, green in color, getting converted to Fe3 plus, which is yellow in color. Again 2 plus to 3 plus, increase in oxidation number is oxidation of iron. Same way, oxalate ion or oxalic acid, that is this one, is oxidized. With the help of this, you see you are converting into CO2 and water. Other reactions, again with hydrogen sulfide, you can see S2 minus, it is again getting converted into sulfur from minus to 0. In the case of sulfuric acid, you can see this is again sulfur, it is again getting converted into sulfite, sulfurous into sulfite. Again oxidation number or oxidation state is increasing of sulfur. Same is the story with nitro, in nitrites. So if you see again in all of them, it is undergoing MnO4 minus is undergoing an reduced state, that is Mn2 plus, Mn2 plus, Mn2 plus. In other mediums, you can see in neutral or fairly alkaline solution, MnO4 minus or KMnO4 goes to MnO2 in all the cases. Just remember, so this is one trick to remember the redox reaction or the products of the reaction, and the balancing of redox reaction you can check the 11th standard textbook. Okay, now some note. Okay, so permanganate ion and all this manganate, they are actually uh, very good. Okay, and they are very good use, and they are very good in useful in titrations. That is very important thing. Also one thing very important, in presence of HCl acid they are unsatisfactory. Reason is hydrochloric acid is oxidized to chlorine, so it gives out your Cl2 gas. So as I said, that uses is analytical chemistry. That is, you can always check the color change from yellow to orange, or let's say manganate to permanganate. Okay, so it depends on which reaction you want, but you can use them in analytical chemistry. And there are various other uses of it. Like one of them is oxidation process. So they are very good in terms of doing oxidizing. Also decolorization of oil and a lot of other things. Okay. And that's it for this part. The next part. Bye bye.